What's up, guys? Welcome back to Duty's Daggers, and we have a pretty fun one today because I have been lent, did not buy this, it was lent to me for review, something from Hog House Knives. Now, this is a very premium knife if you're not familiar with Hog House. They're made here in the USA. You know, it's a small batch CNC made knife in the ranks of, the Oz Machine Company Roosevelt, the Koenig Arius, Holt, Grimsmo, Prince Customs, Brown Knives, all those guys. This is in the realm of those knives. So let's check this out. I've already been in here. I couldn't wait. I'm always honest with you guys if I've been into a box. I have been into this, flipped it a couple times and put it back. So I have not spent very much time with it. Let's get on in here. This is the Model T from Hog House. Now, they have a couple designs. The Model T here, also the Veli, and they might have one more, but those are the two that I know of. I'm not too familiar with Hog House. We have this really nice lasered out foam. That's very, very nice. Established 2021. Let's look at this beauty. Aesthetically, just right away, this is a very cool looking knife. It's a very sleek, sort of futuristic-y sort of looking thing. I really dig it already just looking at it. So we got a flipper tab and we got a little slot for the reverse flicking. The millings are really cool. We got two different textures, sort of like a little bit of a faux bolster going on here with the different milling up here and then the kind of standard pinstripe down here. Look at these. We got flathead hardware. That's interesting. It kind of looks cool. I kind of dig it. It looks kind of sort of classy in a way. Old school, maybe. Big backspacer, milled clip. That really flows with the knife well. I think that looks really nice. Okay, down here we got, it says Model T Gen 2. And look at that. Another flathead for the pivot. And then, on this side we got the logo, the Hog House logo. That's a cool logo. I like it. So let's go ahead. Let's do the reverse flick first. I forgot. Stepped milled blade, man. Stepped milled blade. Look at that. Tiny steps too. Yeah, that looks really cool, man. Very slender, sleek blade. It reminds me a little bit of the Rask blade. Let me get my Rask out. It's reminiscent of the Rask blade. In fact, the whole thing reminds me a little bit of the Rask, just being, flipper only. Actually, the flipper tabs are shaped similarly. The handle isn't. The Rask looks like it has a little bit more of a drop-down tip, which I like. This one's got a little bit more of an upraised tip. But, sort of similar knives, I guess. Let's take a look here. Steel lock bar insert. Nice area here for the lock bar access. What does it say in here? It says Model T Gen 2, number 22. Wow, it's a low number. I'm not sure how long they've been making the Model T. So I don't know if this is an old one or if they just haven't been making them very long. I'm not sure. Man, this is just beautiful. I think this is an absolutely beautiful knife. I really do. Look at this thing, man. It's so sleek looking. The lines just flow together so nicely. I kind of like that you can see the milling path inside this slot too. Let's test the action out. Okay, yeah. Perfectly centered. Let's try the flipper tab. Now, my first impressions of the flipper tab when I first looked at this was, not great. It's, the action's nice. It's a little pokey if you sort of do like a push button sort of back here. You want to put your finger on top right here. And if you do, let's see here. Let me go. That's not bad if you do that. But as you're flipping it, the tip of your finger sort of runs into this little lip here. So slow motion, say I'm flipping this, bam. The flipper tab disappears back behind the scale and sort of slams my finger into this little corner. Oops. Also, the lock bar is pretty sensitive, as you can see. Make sure you're off of that. Yeah, it kind of slams your finger in that little ridge. Now, if you try to kind of move more at the tip here, it's just awkward. It's a little awkward. And plus, with the lock bar being pretty sensitive, you got to make sure you're not putting much pressure on it. The whole flipper tab situation is a little awkward, I think. Not bad. Not bad. Not great either at all. The reverse flick, very nice. I think this window is perfectly placed. The size is perfect. Yeah, great reverse flick. Oh yeah, you could choke up in front of the flipper tab like this, just like on the Rask. You know, in the open position, the flipper is sort of pointed down, so you have this really nice spot to choke up on. Same thing here. Except the Rask's flipper is really comfortably rounded. This one's more squared off, so it's not as comfortable as the Rask, but it's a pretty comfortable choke up spot. Yeah, it's very smooth. Very, very smooth. So when you disengage, you know, you can kind of do it further up here where the flipper tab hits your thumb. No double clutch. Let's see where that is. Yeah, it's about right here where you hit, where that detent ball needs to jump up onto the tang. But it seems like when you disengage, you're already past that, so that's very nice. Or you can kind of do it further down where the flipper tab misses your thumb and goes all the way down to there. So there's a couple ways you could do it. I think I prefer it like that. Yeah, really smooth. I mean, it's not like Rask smooth. There's not much that is Rask smooth, to be fair. It's just kind of its own thing, but it's very smooth. I hear a little bit of that detent ball rubbing. I'll put it right next to the mic. If I do that same motion on the Rask, oh, I got a little bit. Usually you can't hear anything. I heard a little bit of something there, but it feels dry. I need to lube it. Yeah, I mean, this is a really nice knife. Super, super nice. I don't know the exact price. I'm guessing it's right around $1,000, you know, just like all these other super nice knives. I think the only thing holding me back from wanting one of these is just the flipper tab, really. Again, it's not horrible, but you do need to kind of watch the placement of your finger and watch the placement of your fingers on the lock bar. And it's things that you shouldn't need to think about when going to flip a knife. You should just put your finger on it and go. You know, not worrying about finger placement. You know, that's just, I don't know. Some people will be fine with it. It was a little bit bothersome for me. But super, really, you can tell, I mean, it's really well thought out. Just to the details of, like, how this is flush here around that corner. Completely flush. Very well centered. I really do like the flathead screwdriver hardware. I think it looks really cool. It just kind of reminds me of like an old tool, you know, because they used to use these flathead hardware a lot of times. And so it just reminds me of like an old tool or something like that. I really dig it. What do you guys think? Oops. Oh yeah, let's do some measurements behind the edge. It feels pretty damn thin. It's not crazy. We got 13 thousandths. 13. A little less here. 12. I mean, that's nice and thin, but it's not crazy thin. Blade stock is 123 thousandths. The rasp is wild behind the edge. It's 5 thousandths. So yeah, just to compare, since they are pretty similar knives, I would probably go with the rasp. Now, there are some things that I think the Model T does better. I think the handle is a little more interesting on the Hog House. It is contoured. It's not just a flat piece. Which I believe, it might be very slow. Well, is there? No, I think it's flat. Is it slightly contoured? I can't really tell. It might be. It's more contoured on the, on the Model T. It just really will come down to preference, aesthetic preference. Some people think the rasp looks shitty. I don't, but some people do. So there you go. Very, very nice knife. Big thanks to the subscriber that sent this in to me. Now, if the rasp had a stepped blade like this, oh, imagine that. How cool would that be? They could do it. It's a milled blade. It's not ground by a belt, so they could just leave those lines in. And it looks really nice with this reflective stonewash too. But I'm just a fan of stepped milling. If you the only other stepped milled blade I have right now is the Norseman, because I sold my Lamia. But you can kind of tell the Model T, the lines are very close together compared to the Norseman. Very fine stepped milling. Pretty neat. So that's it. Little something from Hog House. I want to try the Villy. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Like the video before you head out. I'd appreciate it. See you next time.